Hi, it's Nikki here from Happy Hormones for Life, and today I am talking about vitamin D, why you need to be supplementing and what to take with it. Now, at the time of doing this video and podcast, we are midwinter in the UK and we are at the very greatest point of risk of vitamin D deficiency. So we only get enough sunlight in the UK to make vitamin D between May and September. So you can get small amounts from animal foods such as eggs, meat, oily fish, and dairy, but it's a really tiny amount. It's not enough to keep your levels in the optimal range all through winter. So unless you're supplementing vitamin D, you're going to be deficient, pretty much. And at a time when we're in a pandemic, we need it more than ever. We really have to make sure we're supplementing enough and with the right cofactors. So that's what I'm going to be talking about today. Why is it so important? Well, actually, vitamin D is a hormone. I didn't know if you knew that. It's actually not a vitamin. And nearly every cell in your body has a receptor for this hormone. And more evidence is now confirming that its role in the body is much wider than just protecting your bones, as originally thought. It's a massive immune system regulator. It helps to support your immunity and fight infection. Maybe that's why we get more colds and flu in the wintertime when there's no sunlight. But it's definitely helpful against viruses as well. Autoimmune production, many conditions such as MS, Crohn's, rheumatoid arthritis, Hashimoto's and other autoimmune conditions have been linked to vitamin D deficiency. Cancer protection, more and more evidence now points to the link between vitamin D deficiency and certain cancers, including breast, prostate and colon cancer particularly. One study actually claims the rates of these cancers would be cut by 50% if we got adequate amounts. That's huge. Bone and muscle health. So we know about bone health with vitamin D. It regulates calcium levels and the activity of bone building cells. So these osteoclasts or blasts. Severe deficiency, we know vitamin E causes rickets, and we know vitamin D helps to prevent osteoporosis. Really important as you go through menopause. Brain health, it plays a crucial role in neurological health, mood and cognitive function. Heart health, it's really helpful. It prevents calcium buildup in the arteries, and it helps to normalize blood pressure and reduce inflammation. Skin health, it helps to prevent excess cell proliferation, so things like psoriasis and eczema. We know that usually improves with sunlight, and that could be one of the reasons. And then lastly, blood sugar balance and insulin control. So it helps to regulate blood sugar and prevent insulin resistance. So you can see with all of these things that it's a really all-round, absolutely essential hormone stroke vitamin. Can it help with COVID-19? Well, last month, a panel of 120 health and medical experts wrote an open letter to world governments calling for a widespread, immediate increase of vitamin D intake to 4,000 IU per day for healthy adults in order to combat the pandemic, because the evidence is now showing that higher vitamin D blood levels are associated with lower rates of SARS-CoV-2 infection. Higher D levels are associated with lower risk of severe cases, so hospitalization and ICU or death. And intervention, including RCTs, indicate that vitamin D can be a very effective treatment. So it is relatively cheap as a supplement, and it's really available pretty much anywhere without a prescription. So it's kind of, a no-brainer really to take it. Testing, you can get home test kits to see what your levels are, because you really want to check that you're in the optimal range and not just kind of sitting in adequate or insufficient, which is the worst. So your really optimal range is kind of above 75 nanomoles. So you're really looking for that range. Like anything, toxicity is possible if you take too much for a long period of time, but experts say actually that toxicity is actually quite rare, and many high-dose supplement protocols have been undertaken with no adverse effects. That doesn't mean that there aren't any, but you're unlikely to be taking too much. You'd have to take quite a bit. We know that over 50% of the global population suffers from vitamin D insufficiency, so that's less than like 50 nanomoles. Vitamin D, though, doesn't work alone. Don't take it on its own. It needs cofactors to help it work properly. So these include magnesium, K2, vitamin A, boron and zinc. So if you do start supplementing, make sure you're getting these cofactors in as well, or you risk kind of causing other imbalances. So I recommend a good multi really good quality multivitamin, plus a vitamin D with K2 and some magnesium. Those are the three things that I would be putting in. I will put a link to my collection at the Approved Vitamins site for recommended supplements if you're looking to get something in. But of course, with any supplements, check with your doctor or your practitioner before starting anything new if you're on medication or if you have a health condition. So finally, to sum up, get some sun exposure when it comes out eventually. Proper sun exposure of 20 minutes onto exposed skin. Obviously you don't want to burn, you don't want to be doing that, but that's how you get the optimal levels of vitamin D. And while we don't have that kind of sunshine right now, you need to be supplementing during those winter months with D3, not D2. D3 is the active form, and with its cofactor vitamins and minerals. And if you're not sure, get tested and make sure your levels are in the optimal ranges. If you want any help with any of that, do contact us. We're always here. So I hope that was helpful. I'll see you soon. Take care.